All right, guys, we made it to the last video of day one, week one, and this is about the syllabus. So syllabus, you can find that in a couple places. One place you can find it is in the orientation right here. Click on that, opens it up. Here we go, right at the top. Okay, so this information, same information basically that you saw in the overview page. This is where to contact me. You can book me for what you call office hours. This is the Zoom link. Here's a little information about me, but we'll skip that for now because I'm talking to you right now. Policy change for the syllabus. Syllabus may be changed at times. Typically, if there's a change, it'll be to the tentative schedule. Nothing big. If there's a change, I'll let you know. About the class, we saw that in an overview already. Here are the learning outcomes. You see a bunch of terms you may or may not be familiar with here. Don't worry. By the time you finish the class, that's when you are expected to know what all these things are. This is mainly like for kind of like legal purposes or like for or if you want to transfer to another class or another school, they need to have these kind of course descriptions and things that you're learning in the course to compare. Okay, this is a 16-week course. So 16 weeks of learning stuff, and then in the final week, there will be the final exam. And then textbook, we saw about this earlier. We already just finished going over how to access it in MyLab Math. Things that you need a computer or at least a smart device, but I recommend getting a computer if you can. If you don't have a computer of your own, Llama Library actually lends out laptops. So that's one option. Check out the Llama Library website, or you can also just go there in person. You need access to this website, obviously, and the MyLab Math. Another thing you need is time. I mentioned this earlier, but our class is structured like an actual class. So each week you get new material. Expect to have like two kind of class attendance days where you watch the video, do the classwork, right? And then in addition to those two kind of days where you're attending and you're watching, then you also submit an online homework. And then sometimes you have an additional quiz. The times that the quiz come though, the quizzes are going to be on days when you have reviews. So like there will be typically no other homework. You just have the review and then you have the quiz. But I'll show you that in the schedule a little later in this syllabus. In communication, email is an important way that we communicate. And for this class, because of the way Lamaku works, whenever I post an announcement, I typically post at least one announcement per week. That gets sent to your email. So I expect that you guys are checking your email. And if you're not checking your UH email, then just forward it to your email that you actually are going to check. It's pretty simple. If you're not sure how, just Google it. Okay, here's my email. And here's an alternative contact. If you have like an issue, let's say you're like, oh, Mr. Kong, so junk, then you can email our department chair. Here's her email. This is the actual department chair email. So when the next department chair comes along, they'll have the same email address. Our department chair is really cool. Yeah, so she's very nice, a lot nicer than I am. So you can talk to her if you have issue with it. Okay, withdrawal deadline. Friday, March 28th. So if, you know, it's nearing March 28th, is after right after spring break, and you're feeling like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna make the grade that I wanted to make in this class, and I don't want to have it affect my GPA, then you have the option to withdraw. It's gonna show up as a W on your report card though. Or you can also change to credit, no credit if you want to. But you know, talk to a counselor before you make a change like that because sometimes these have implications on like financial aid or other things that you may not be aware of. Okay, attendance participation. This is actually a oh yeah, I'm sorry. Class participation is instead of class participation, we have the weekly classwork. And so that's just something that you have to do every week. Participation, this is something that's common to all classes at KCC, and actually not just KCC, but all of the UH system, and in fact, all of the schools nationally, is if you're not participating in the first week of class, you automatically get dropped from the course. For us, we have until Tuesday, January 21 to show some kind of participation. That can be by either submitting a classwork or by submitting a MyLab math assignment. But you have to do that by January 21st or you'll get automatically dropped from the class. Okay, a couple quick tips. I talked about this before already. But you can print the MyLab math problems. You can also redo them until you have 100% on everything. All right, late work. After the deadlines pass for homework or classwork, you get locked out. You're not able to submit them anymore. If you have some extenuating circumstance, just email me and I can reopen it for you. Missed assignments become zeros. Exams. Okay, exams are going to be proctored via Zoom. 135 is a class where you really don't need any technology. So the way that our exams are going to work is you are allowed a scientific calculator, but that's it. Other than that, just a paper and pencil. So you're going to just, at the start of the exam, you're going to log onto Zoom. You're going to just film the area around yourself, show that there's no, you have nothing open. You're not looking at a screen or anything. You just have the paper and pencil in front of you. And then you're going to have just a video on yourself and your table as you're working. And that's going to be the way we proctor our exams. You'll have time to open up the exam, of course, because the exam is going to come as a PDF file. Okay, if you're worried about that, don't worry. Just relax. There's going to be no rush. Once you're on Zoom, I can just walk you through the whole process. I can explain to you as exams come close as well. Also, if you're worried about time, I'll talk about that in the schedule section. Okay, final grade. Final grade is the typical thing, right? A is 90% above, B is 80% above, etc. Here's the breakdown for percentages. Classwork is worth 5%. Doesn't sound like a lot, but this is half a grade. So this is the difference from if you have a 85% getting an A or a B, right? Like say if you have 85%, but you have all your classwork, then you're gonna get an A. If not, then you get a B. So it actually makes a significant difference. Same for online MyLab math homework, that's even bigger difference. The quizzes, I mentioned that in the previous video. And then 2 exams plus the final. Yeah, here's the academic calendar. Red things are the holidays. We got spring break in the spring, yay. And a couple other holidays. Last day of instruction is May 7th, followed by exam week. All right, here's our tentative schedule. And this is where I was mentioning if you're concerned about the exam times, don't worry, I'm very flexible. This is a typical exam. So exam one is scheduled for Wednesday, the 26th of February. And I'm going to open up the Zoom call for long periods from 9 a.m. to 12. You can start. That means as long as you start by 12, you have usually like an hour and a half to finish, which would take you to 1:30. So between 9 and 1:30, it'll be open. And then again from 8 to actually 11:30, as long as you start by 10, you're straight. And if these times do not work for you, let's say you're just totally busy or you're traveling on Wednesday or something, then that's fine. Just email me. We can work something out. Usually that would mean a separate time or that you go into the library to take your exam at a different time. So yeah, if the time does not work for you, don't worry. Just email me. We can work it out. Yeah, I'm very flexible with the exam times. Okay, same thing for the final. Final is going to be 2 hours long, but same deal. Yeah, if that day doesn't work for you, we can work around your schedule. Because this is an asynchronous class, we're more flexible. Okay, here's the calendar though. So you see each week by week, and what topics are scheduled to be covered in those particular weeks. You'll notice that there are certain weeks that we have only review, so that means no homework other than a MyLab math quiz. So that's what I was talking about earlier, where you have nothing new that you're learning, just a review. Review that we'll do together, and then the quiz that you do online. And then other days you have review or exam. All right. And the last page is just institution information. This is stuff that's supposed to be common to all syllabi. Not everybody actually follows through and does it though. That's a little secret about instructors. We don't always follow the rules. But yeah, this is just general information about our institution. If you have any kind of need or any kind of issue, then there's a lot of resources here. For instance, if you have a learning disability, then there's some places you can contact. You can get accommodations such as extra exam time, or if you yeah, maybe you have basic needs like they have like some programs where you can get some free food and things like that, financial aid. Maybe you need academic advising. So there's a bunch of resources here, so you can check that out on your own time. And that concludes our syllabus guide, which concludes our week 1, day 1. All right. So looking forward to working with you guys this semester. Have a great day, and I will see you when I see you. But you're more, so you'll see me. Okay, bye.